Happy Saturday. I'm wearing part of what I'm going to wear down to our second anniversary, 20th wedding anniversary, that is. Dinner tonight. We're going to the Melting Pot down in Tacoma proper. And then we're going to go to Forelli's and hang out. I was going to do this video last week. And forgive me if this is extremely long because I have to add to what I was just going to do last week when I just ran out of energy and couldn't do it. So much has happened in a week. And it's intentional. Things are being thrown at us at such a high pace to wear us out. That is the point of this fascist presidency. That's the point of it. I want to start this off by saying I got called into a meeting at work last week and was pretty much told to stop talking about politics because I'm stressing people out talking about politics. Now, a couple of years ago at work, we had started a new order generating program, and it's called OCORT. It's not new, it's just that we hadn't used it, and we finally started using it. And I didn't have a problem with OCORT, but there was this Friday that I couldn't get my what they call AV capture to work, and that's where it's the audio recording of the records. We don't have stenographers, it's an audio recording. That IT, whenever they fix anything down there anymore, because they're just hiring clowns these days, it just fucks the computer up. My AV capture wasn't working. This was a Friday. My supervisor's off work. My court administrator's off every Friday. I have no grown-ups to help me get my AV capture back up. I had to borrow someone else's AV capture. And it happened to be an interpreter calendar day, and that's when all the people who have traffic infractions come to court when they need an interpreter. And the deaf interpreter was on freaking Zoom. And that calendar lasted from 8:30 till 1 something. And I figured by the time I added in my 2 15-minute breaks and my hour lunch, it would almost be the end of the day, so I just left work. And I was going to send my supervisor a text on Monday and say, hey, I just left work. Only to get scolded for doing that. And this was right after the Roe v. Wade turnover. I was extremely stressed out as it was. Only to be called in a meeting with the supervisor and the administrator to say, I'm super influential, that if I leave work early, everybody else would be compelled to do it. Oh, I didn't know I had the personality of a cult leader, but thanks. It makes me a boss. So not only am I influential, I also stress people out. I do both, apparently. Anyway, moving on. I always said for a few years that maybe when children are issued a birth certificate, they should also be issued a globe. But in light of Department of Education being abolished, everybody wants their citizens to be stupid as fuck, so that's never going to happen. However, I'm going to give everybody a lesson about Ukraine. Because there's a lot of idiotic people who wonder why the United States should continue to back Ukraine. Well, here's why. Right, so you really probably can't see that out that well, but there's Russia, right? Let me find Ukraine on here. Ukraine is in between. You just can't see this. I'm not going to show you. The Ukraine is in between Russia and a lot of European countries. So basically, Ukraine is like the dam of land that Putin can take over. That's why we need to ally with them. Every civilized country in this world needs to ally with them. And the fact that we're treating Ukraine like crap, you just don't understand the implications of, oh, we sent them too much money. No, we haven't. We didn't send them money. We sent them old equipment, not money. Old equipment that we had to spend money to replace here in the U.S., but we sent them old tanks, old equipment. We didn't send them money. And that is not even being a thing anymore just blows my mind. And I once again will state that I'm so glad that I'm 51 years old and not 21 years old or 31 years old. Because I don't have to live in the disaster that's going to be the reality, because we're at a point of no return. We're at a point of no return. I truly believe that. I don't think we're recovering from this. Okay, so how Trump is a fucking liar. We all know he's a liar. But he just threw Marco Rubio under the fucking bus by rounding up all these immigrants, accusing them of being violent gang members, but with no due process, no going before a judge. Ship them out to an El Salvadorian prison, which is the worst prison in the world. And judges tried to block this. The Trump administration did it anyway, because they don't give a fuck about judicial stoppages. They don't care if they're doing what the fuck they want. And these men are being tortured in these prison in El Salvador, while their family comes forward and says, they don't even have a criminal record. Here you go. They don't even have a criminal record. Oopsie! So then, you know what Donald Trump said? He said Marco Rubio signed this insurrectionist act thing from like the 19th century to reinstate it. He said Marco Rubio signed it in. He didn't know anything about it when he signed it. And even his stupid bubble-headed press secretary said that he signed it. She said it at a press conference. Now he's trying to deny he signed it and trying to throw Marco Rubio under a bus. Basically signing his death warrant. Putting out a hit on him like he did when he was denying that he lost the last election, putting a hit out on Pence. I don't like Pence, but I like Pence a lot more than I like that fucking shitty ass motherfucker betrayer, soulless creature, orange thing that dares to be called the president. That's not the only thing. Apparently, the Trump administration has rolled back Lyndon Johnson's 1965 Federal Discrimination Act. That any federal government contract company or business doesn't have to have restrooms for all and water fountains for all. They can have black restrooms and they can have white restrooms. What kind of dystopian future am I living in? Here's my opinion. People laughing at the cruelty of anti-discrimination being rolled back and SNAP being rolled back and Medicaid being rolled back. I think that capitalism and rugged individualism started all of this. I think finally people are emboldened to say the quiet part they've kept not coming out of their mouth or coming out of their types. They're finally emboldened to actually be able to say what they always thought. But I have a question though. Where are we going to put all the bodies? When people die because they can't get their Medicaid service, or when they can't get their check to pay their rent and they're homeless, or when they self-delete because they have no more hope anymore because they're disabled and they're losing their benefits. These children that are going to starve to death Because U.S. aid not only benefited people in other countries, it benefited this country. Meals on Wheels. When these people starve, where are we going to put all the bodies? Remember in COVID when they were putting bodies in like freezer food shipping trucks because there was nowhere in the morgue to put these people? This is going to be 10 times worse. And honestly, I hope that all these fucking Trump supporters, with their terrible children they're raising to be terrible, have to walk by a bunch of corpses. I never, ever, ever in my life have truly hated anybody. And hate really hurts. I don't like the way that... I'm gonna cry. I don't like the way that hate feels. But I hate people right now, and I don't know what I can do about it. I can't even talk about politics at work to try to drive some of my younger coworkers into some kind of action. I'm 50 years old. I'm too old to march in the streets. I will go to a final battle, but I'm too old to march in the streets day after day. Because my legs and my back are all messed up. And it's the best that I can do to go up and down the stairs, and I'm blind. I can't hardly see anymore. You know what, you Trumpers that probably are not watching this video, but you can laugh at me all you want. I don't give a fuck, because I have no respect for you. I don't have to respect your opinion. And in fact, once again, if you're watching me on Facebook, if you voted for Trump, kindly find yourself off my page. Because I don't like you anymore. Anyway, as far as black people, I've heard black people say this, and I agree with them. This government, what Donald Trump is trying to do is to get black people enraged and out in the streets and protesting so that he can declare martial law so that he can be a dictator. That's what he's trying to do, but the black people are not falling for it. They're not. And I say good on them. And I also say good on them if the federal Anti-Discrimination Act trickles down to private business and we start having a lot of whites-only businesses, which would happen in a heartbeat. What are we going to do without all of our black athletes and our black entertainers and our black art? Black women are the smartest people on this planet. I'm sorry, it's a true story. And black people create a lot of art that white tees like me steal. What are we going to do when we're separate? I'm going to go to the melting pot, like I said. We're going to go to Forelli's tonight, like I said. I'm trying to get back into the groove of writing books. I don't want Trump to destroy my craft. In the meantime, I've been putting together Lego sets. By the way, I'm listening to the soundtrack from the movie Rockstar that had Mark Wahlberg in it. And that was a huge inspiration on the thrice that I published. Was the movie Rockstar. I directly stole a few lines out of that movie and put them in my book. Kind of paraphrased a little bit, but stole it straight out of. By the way, I'm going to wear this jacket as part of my outfit tonight. I'm going to totally be the glitter queen. I've got a green glitter dress. I've got glitter boots. I've got glitter earrings. My eyes are kind of glittery. Not really, but kind of. Don't care. Don't give a fuck. Don't care if I'm 51 wearing a bunch of glittery girly clothes. Who said I couldn't? The patriarchy? Fuck them. The patriarchy and the red pill are big reason why we're in the mess we're in now. And also people that have no critical thinking skills. Well, any critical thinking skills that you learned in school, kiss it goodbye. We're about to go to Handmaid's Tale all over again. Have a good day.